What a terrific job you did in this play.
Thank you.
Oh my God, I couldn't stop laughing. And I have to tell you, because I'm the biggest Babs fan, so like to see this show and you doing this,
Must have been like
I'm not worthy.
Like a theater, like, orgasm for
for
you.
time it was.
Yeah.
Oh my God. Okay, I won't bore you with all my Babs details. Okay, I'll start off by telling you that because it'll set it up. But
let's gab bab.
okay, first of all, where do I start? I've been doing this job for a long time, and I've always been a Barbra Streisand fan, always, but not the crazy fanatic-y kind, but just always loved her music and everything. And when I started doing entertainment, I thought, like, the one person in the world who I'd want to interview would be Barbra Streisand. Like, right, that's ever going to happen. Rewind to the Prince of Tides. So I get a phone call and they invite me on the movie junket, and I'm like freaking out.
Totally.
Okay. However,
so when this is like 90,
early 90s.
Okay, got it.
Okay, early 90s. And I thought, okay, great. Bonnie, compose yourself.
Pull it together.
They said, we can get you everybody but Barbra. She's doing very limited interviews. I said, doesn't matter. I still want, Pat Conroy and Nick Nolte, everybody else. Okay, great. So I get there, and I would never forget it. It was at the Regency Hotel in New York City. I'm getting in the elevator to go to the floor. Doors open. Who's in the frickin' elevator?
No.
Okay, I walk in. Can hardly compose myself, but I'm good. I'm good. I get out. I go do my interviews with Nick and everybody else, and I get a phone. It wasn't even a phone. I didn't even have a cell phone. I don't even think at the time.
They sent you a telegram
or whatever, and I get a message. Barbara is having such a great day. She would like to do more interviews. Would you like to do it? Would I like to do it?
Would I like to do it?
And just because I thought maybe I would meet her. I had just gotten this compilation of the CD thing from her.
Yeah.
And I brought it with because I thought maybe she'll sign it, whatever. Okay. So I'm sitting in the hallway, and I swear to you, 30 years of doing this job, I've never burst into tears. I've never gotten nervous. I've never anything. I was sitting in the hallway waiting for my, my 3 minutes with Babs, and I almost burst into tears. Like I was so
cute.
Okay. So I get in there, shakingly like a leaf, and she grabs my hand, with the nails, as you've described in the show, and she goes, "I don't bite. It'll be fine." And I will never forget that as long as I live. And the interview was great. And at the end, she signed my thing for me. I didn't even ask her. She said, "Would you like me to sign that?" And I said, "Yeah, dear Bonnie, I hope it was worth the wait." Hello.
That just gave me chills.
Okay, and I was gonna bring it to show you today, but anyway, I just thought but I had to tell you that story because.
Oh my God! What a great story!
And hence, since I've interviewed her 2 more times for Prince of. So I did Prince of Tides, Mirror Has Two Faces, and then I just did the Guilt Trip last year.
Back in New York City.
Yes.
And does she remember you?
I don't know if she remembers me because obviously she's met so many people, right? And by then I had calmed down.
Yeah.
But I thought, wow, I get it why people, when you get in her presence, I understand why people
freak out.
Why? But why do you think? Because especially now having done this show, and now I've told you my 3-hour story. What is it about her that she's just so special? I don't know, just to so many people.
Well, I think she's a one-off. There's no one else like Oprah.
Yeah.
There's no one else like Judy Garland. There's no one else like Barbra Streisand. There's no one else like Michael Jackson. There are one-offs. Right. Elvis. There's things that no one else is that. Yeah. Whatever that is, right? And she is that.
So what have you learned now after all years? Because when you started this, you were not a Babs aficionado, were you?
Didn't know minutia. I mean, barely.
Hello, Mr. Theater Man. How could that be?
I don't know. I mean, I don't want to talk ill of her, but she has not embraced the theater.
Right. I know. Yeah.
Even though the theater made her a star, she has turned her back, I feel, a little bit, I would say. So in the theater world, we're not, it's not like she's, she did a revival of a fantastic play 10 years ago and won a Tony, or, did a musical even 20 years ago. It's not, she didn't even do that. Yeah. So it's like, she's not in the theater, she's not in theater culture.
Right.
I mean, it's like, she did Funny Girl, and then she was like, bye. And bye bye. So I am not like I didn't grow up like a pop I wasn't into like music really, and or like movies as much as I was theater. So she didn't really come across my radar. And even those movies, like you just mentioned, Prince of Tides, where I never saw any of those movies. Mirror Has Two Faces before I got this job.
Yeah, wow. And so did you have to like really start digging into the research?
I did dig into the research, but I didn't go crazy, because the thing is that because I'm not doing an impersonation of Barbra. Like I'm not even doing like, if I was on Saturday Night Live, which is a dream of mine,
we're gonna get you there because I think you deserve it.
Thank you. Let's call Lauren if you know him.
Well, he is from here, so maybe we have.
Oh, that's true. Yeah. Maybe I should send him. Maybe I should send him my Canadian reviews.
Absolutely.
If I was doing Barbra Streisand for like a sketch, or like I would want to impersonate her.
Got it.
Like I would want to have a wig, and I would want to move exactly like she moves. I would want to move my face like she moves. And for this, because it's a one-man play where I am not in costume, I play 8 characters very, very quickly, very fast. I'm just a boy in a t-shirt and jeans. I was like, I want to create who Barbra is for me.
Yeah.
So I don't want to watch her. So I listened. So my research for her was, I did watch Funny Girl, the movie, and I did watch The Way We Were.
Okay.
But other than those 2 movies, I didn't want to watch too much of her on screen. I wanted to listen to her. Yeah. So I listened to a bunch of radio interviews, and I listened to her CDs over and over and over, especially the live ones where she talks.
Yeah.
You know, she's like, no, listen, I was like, you know, I sang this song, and I just wanted to connect to her voice, and I wanted to create the Barbra from within my soul, because that would be believable as Alex, I thought.
No, I understand that.
Like Alex isn't he's just a crappy actor who can't get a job. So and his impersonation may not be great.
Yeah.
Right? So, but it can be real to him. Yeah. And that's what I wanted.
And you know what? I'm watching you up there and I'm thinking, wow, how brave. Because seriously, you're up there for 100 minutes, completely on your own. How do you do that? How do you get in the mindset and like block out the audience? Because there's certain times when you are kind of addressing the audience too. Yeah. And you kind of like, does it take you out of the zone? Or
no. Well, how do I do it? Is a lot of margaritas. A lot from 9:50 at night until.
No, come on, seriously, no.
No, I mean I do have to come down. It's a major adrenaline rush coming down to the show.
I'm sure.
So I always need to like eat a meal and have a glass of wine or something to chill out. Yeah. But I connecting with the audience it doesn't take me out at all. In fact, I ad-libbed in the show a lot. I think something happened. Was that the night where there were 2 Jews in the audience?
Yes.
Yeah, like I never said that before in my life.
Yeah, great.
Yeah, it just was like 2 people laughed, so I was like 2 Jews in the audience.
Good for you, and it's nice that you've got that freedom too.
So I mean, it's a one-man show. Yeah. I mean, I honor John's writing, and I try to, but for 100 minutes, someone's bound to talk back. Like that happened in New York all the time, where I would say something and someone would go, "Oh God, I love it." Like New Yorkers were big talkers.
I can imagine.
Yeah. So like a lot of Americans, they talk back to it, and so I was like, "Oh, great! Thanks for letting us all know." And then like that gets a big laugh.
No, see, that's fantastic. Yeah. And especially, I would think seeing it in New York, there's going to be a ton of Babs fans and people who are just like, "Oh my God, what has the reaction been after you get off stage? People maybe meeting you side door."
Yeah, the reaction is always that they came, that they were we're big Barbra fans, so we came to see that. I have the book. Everyone has the book.
Right.
I have the book. And then they're like, I was nervous it was going to be really mean, but it ended up being really poignant.
Yeah,
Everyone
it
kind
is.
of always like,
I got teared up.
Yeah,
I did. Yeah, I did. And then even aside from the fact how much I love her, but not crazy love her, but love her, just because I'm a fan. But I did. There was so many poignant moments. Yeah.
I mean, she's a. Yeah. I mean, I like that we explore the idea that she's a human.
Yes.
Like she's a real person that doesn't have that. I mean, what we say, we don't know if it's true or not, but maybe doesn't have that many friends, or maybe feels like it's hard to let people in. And she's lonely.
And interesting, like why would she even have that kind of a mall in her, in her basement and collect all this stuff? And what does that stuff mean to her?
Yeah, and what does it mean? And what is the price of fame and celebrity? And like, what do things mean around you? Or is it because you're trying to feel you don't like who you are? Or not saying that she doesn't, but maybe one doesn't like who they are. Or maybe they're trying to fill a void that happened. That's something where in their past, and they're trying to fix that still, which I think is a little bit of her her thing, growing up very, very poor.
Well, the part the part when she talks about I'm not pretty, like I'm not pretty. Oh my God,
But see, and that's one of my favorite parts of the whole play, because everyone has their I'm not pretty.
Yeah.
Right.
For sure.
I everyone has whatever that is. That's like about themselves. So they're just like. Like.
It's so sad.
So
like
sad.
when you think back at how she grew up and her dad leaving and all that kind of stuff. And listen, yes, you're right. A million people have these stories.
Yeah.
But it's Barbra, and she kind of rose above it.
Yeah.
Yeah. And it's pretty amazing. There's a lot in this show that I don't think you even have to be a Barbra Streisand fan.
You do not at all. No. You just need to know that she needs to be on your radar, in the fact that she is a famous person, and then that's all you need to know is that, and I think everybody knows that. Okay. And if they don't know, they'll know within the first 8 minutes when I tell them about the book and who she is, and then they'll be great. They'll be good to go.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So have you found that? I just wondered, like when you're up on stage and we talked about this a little bit, but do you ever go blank? Does that ever happen?
There are moments where
I don't want to jinx you or anything.
No. I don't really go blank, but there are moments where I'm talking for 100 minutes, so I'm bound to not say the exact same thing every night, right?
Sure.
So sometimes something will throw me, if my body goes, if I let my mind wander, because this is something that. This is a secret that actors won't tell you, but when we're doing a long run of a show over and over and over, we are capable of letting our minds think of other things at the same time that we're in the scene, because we're so trained to be. It's like a decompartmentalization thing where I can think of my grocery list tonight will be ga, and ga.
Yeah.
While I am also talking, right? It's possible. Right. And so I have to, sometimes when my mind goes, I will come back into the scene and be like, I'm almost positive I said that line I was supposed to say. I'm going to keep going though, but I think I probably said it. There are moments of doubt for me.
I'm sure.
So it's not like going up or not knowing what the next word is, but there's moments of did I do that part? I sometimes will get somewhere halfway in the play and I'll be like, in my mind I'm thinking, did I do the part where she had a mill?
Yeah.
And that joke, did I miss that joke at the beginning? I will doubt myself because there's so much material, and I feel like I'm in that movie Groundhog Day where I just get back up, every day is the same. Yeah. So that happens sometimes. And then there's some times where my body is so physically used to saying the lines in a certain rhythm. I move my arm here when I say, not really when I'm the characters, but more when I'm talking to the audience. Mm-hmm. Okay, so the Sharon took me to the antique clothes we take, herringbone floors, lavender walls with gold trim, mirrors on the closet doors, gold chandeliers, right? My body does the same thing every night. And so sometimes if somebody throws me like someone's hearing aid goes off or someone's cell phone rings and I do something different movement-wise, now my mouth is
right, because
it's used to physics. So sometimes that happens.
So the big question, of course, has Barbara's people come, or what has been has there been any reaction from her? Because Michael Urie did it before you, so it was on.
For a year in New York, and then I took over after that, and then I've been doing it. Now we're headed in February or March. It'll be a year for me. So,
wow.
No, she has not come. Although there's always moments in the audience where I'm just because I can see the audience a lot. And I'm like, do I see nails? Do I see nails? Do I see nails? Because I know they're gonna catch the lights,
right?
And it's just gonna be
it's like butter.
It's like butter. Yeah, it's like butter. I'm looking for nails. She has not come, but early on, her manager and lawyer came to the show to make sure that it wasn't defaming, and it's not.
No.
And it's a send up.
Yeah. Absolutely.
And I think the fact that nothing happened with that.
I think she'd really enjoy it.
I think she would too. And this is the thing I want to. Barbra. I feel like she just needs to she doesn't bite. She needs to go back to that moment when she's like, I don't bite.
Yes.
Girl, you don't bite. Yeah. You will love this play.
Yeah.
And it does not make fun of your son.
See that moment for me humanized her.
Yes.
Right?
Yes. I think she mentioned in the press in the New York Times when her CD came out, they asked her about a couple of different plays. The one recently, the Sue Mingers play, that was about her.
Yes.
On Broadway. That was her famous agent, and then about Byron Cellar, and she said she didn't have any interest in seeing Byron Cellar because she heard it was too mean to Jason. But it's
No,
not at all. We don't say one bad thing about his first son at all. Ever.
Yeah.
In fact, the only thing that we say about him is that he was terrific in Prince of Tides.
That's right.
And she says, I wish he acted more.
Yeah.
Other than that.
And you have to kind of mention him because he's an important part of our life.
Yeah.
It's weird. Yeah.
So now,
maybe you never know.
Yeah.
Maybe she'll come to Toronto secretly.
I've always thought, I always had that fantasy. I was like, maybe that's when she'll see it, like in a different country. People wouldn't expect it. And in Canada, people are so nice. Like people are so like in America, people
very reserved.
People would like run her down in the New York City, but here, like I think she could slip in and out. And
100%.
No one would ever know.
Listen, you know what? Obviously we've had so many stars here and stuff, even like Tiff and all this, you know.
Yeah, of course.
And the fans are like, yes, we love you, blah blah blah. We're very reserved here. Like we don't pounce. You know what I mean? But you know that we love you. You know, you get that, right?
Yeah. Oh yeah, totally. Oh yeah.
That's great.
The audience is laughing.
I like being Canadian. It's good.
It's like you're a subdued American.
Exactly. We're good cousins, but we're a little bit more subdued. Okay, so if you could be locked in a basement with any other diva, who would it be?
Oh, God.
For a couple hours.
Oh, God, there's so many. I kind of said this once before, although this wasn't the exact question. It was a different question, but I would probably say Kathie Lee Gifford.
Oh, cool. Why? Really?
Yeah, because she seems like she has wine in her basement.
Definitely has wine in her basement.
Definitely.
Yes.
And I want to get drunk with Kathie Lee Gifford.
You know who would be really cool, I think? Elaine Stritch.
Oh, God. Talk about having alcohol in her basement.
Exactly,
yes.
right?
Yeah, she would be. Yeah,
what a cool woman she is. Like, just sit down and even have, like, a dinner with her. Dinner party and just...
Yeah. That last documentary she did was so great.
Amazing.
Yeah. I mean, Kathie Lee Gifford is more... It's just like... she just seems like...
It would be fun.
It would just be fun. And she's just such a... my grandmother would, like, freak. She would be so happy about that. But if we're talking about, like, divas, like, divas of, like, this, like the theater and song and stuff like that. Oh gosh, I don't know if I can beat Elaine Stritch. I think that's maybe who I'd want to be there with you.
Or Patti LuPone.
Yeah, I don't know. Is she nice? I don't know.
I don't know either.
Yeah, I don't know. It's jury out on that one for me. I would be like, I'm nervous.
But see, Elaine Stritch, I think, is like, she's kind of curmudgeon-y. That's her thing.
Yeah, but she
I think in real life, exactly.
Yeah, she's like, and she's like, listen, kid, that shirt's ugly, but come here, I'll make you a martini.
Yeah.
I'm like, oh, you're real.
That would be so cool.
Yeah.
So after you go from Toronto, what's next? Like, is this kind of an unlimited run for you? Are you going from city to city, or what's going on?
It's kind of a city to city situation. Buyer and Cellar right now is taking going to take a break for the holiday and like into January, so there'll be some more cities that come forth. Those haven't been announced yet or official, so we're still kind of like hanging in the air about that. But I'm just going to go back to I'm going to enjoy my holidays with my family. I have a cabin up in the woods in New York, in that like Hudson Valley.
Nice.
So I'll be there in front of my fireplace and just getting fat. And
it's the best
because I don't eat carbs ever except for then, and I'll gain 10 pounds and that'll be fine. And then I'll I live in LA, and so I do a lot of TV stuff, and I'm continuing to like conquer that medium and like conquer that section of my life.
Well, you've been in some great stuff. I mean, come on.
Yeah, thanks.
Oh my God.
Yeah, thank you.
First of all, I sound like a complete like media fanatic, but Brothers and Sisters I loved. That was one of my shows that went off the air. I was very sad.
Yeah.
I mean, The Normal Heart. No words.
No words.
How phenomenal that was.
Unbelievable.
Like to be a part of. So I remember seeing that on Broadway.
Yeah.
Then I saw it here on stage, and then when that.
How was the production here?
Very good.
When was that? Did they do it recently or like back in the day?
Back in the
like in the 80s or early 90s.
90s, yeah.
But was that a Mervish production? Do you remember?
Yeah, it must have been, because most of the stuff I see here is Mervish. Like they just have everything. Yeah, I'm pretty sure it was.
But I didn't know if it was like Shaw Festival or like
no, it
Edinburgh.
Was here. It was. I remember seeing it here. No, shoot, no, it was a small theater. And now, of course, I'm blanking who put it on. But we had a really good cast, too, here.
Yeah.
But the TV production, wow.
Whoa. Yeah.
Like, oh, my God.
Yeah.
Every single person in that.
So good. That plays, Larry Kramer is just a hero.
I mean, I think about it and I start getting teared up because it was such a phenomenal production.
Yeah.
And for you, like, what about more musicals? Because I did get to see How to Succeed.
Oh, you did?
Well, because I've been interviewing Daniel Radcliffe ever since he was, like, his first Harry Potter film. Uh-huh. And so when he was almost leaving the show, I, like, was lucky to get a ticket, so I saw it. So I'm sure... you were not. It was Michael Michael, I think.
Well, if you saw Daniel, you didn't see Michael. You saw me then.
Oh, then okay.
Daniel and I did the show
just because I saw it. It was near the end of his run. He was almost done.
Then
then you were in it.
Yep.
Yeah. Okay.
Yep.
Okay. Because I was
definitely saw me.
Yes,
you're
definitely.
You're going to need to get that playbill out of our playbill archives.
I have it.
And you're going to need to double check.
Yeah. No, I'm almost like I was 99% sure. You know, it's funny because when I go to New York and get to see shows, and it's like not as often as I would love. It's for me. It's like I see it. It's like a blur, and then it's like it's over, and then I can't remember who's like. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah, but you know that's great though because then that means that you're just enjoying it for the thing instead of like, and he was in that, and then I interviewed him, and then he did that. It's like then you're looking at it like you're not just like drinking it.
It's just because I saw Hedwig like a couple weeks ago when Andrew his last performance that Saturday.
Wasn't he fantastic?
Were
you just in New York, or did you make a special trip?
No, sometimes I go and do interviews for junkets for movies. Yeah. So I was lucky, and I had a free night, and I would get in line, and I'd stand in 45 minutes in line, and there was a ticket, and I'm like, Andrew Reynolds, I mean, I would love to see Michael C. Hall, but you know what?
Canadian.
Yeah. No, Michael C. Hall's not Canadian.
He's not?
No. Dexter. Michael C. Hall?
Yeah.
He's not Canadian.
Are you sure?
100%.
Okay.
Yeah, no, 100%.
Because you're like, I would know.
Yeah, no, 100%.
Oh, I thought he was Canadian.
Yeah, a huge fan of his too, but Andrew was great because I did see him in Book of Mormon on Broadway with Josh Gad, and they were amazing. So to see his transformation in this.
I know. He's one of my best friends. He was so good in Hedwig, and it's just so great to see someone.
See, I could see you doing that role. Was that something that you would want to take on?
Oh, of course, but I'm not famous enough to be in it.
Come on.
I know. I mean, it's true. It's true. You know, like it's true. It's just the way that it is, and so that like is why like I'm focusing on my TV career so that I can, without question, be like, hey, I want to do this, and they can go. Us to shut up. I can do this.
We're wrapping. We're just gossiping now, but anyway.
Yeah.
No,
so,
but really,
so that's that's the truth.
You're gonna get there. I'm sorry, you're gonna get there for sure.
Thank you.
Thank you so much for your time. It was such a pleasure talking to you. That was so much fun.